Hello friends, I'm Pam from Preserving Life Ministries, and today we're going to talk about strawberries. Strawberries are delicious. They're the only fruit with seeds on the outside, and we're going to talk a little bit about the difference between jams, jellies, preserves, conserves, and marmalades or spreads. Jelly is the juice of the fruit. It's relatively clear. There are no chunks of fruit in it. It's pretty smooth and it's really good. Jam is mashed fruit with acid, pectin, and a sweetener added to it to thicken it up, and it has pretty much the pulp of the fruit included. Preserves are similar to jams with the addition of whole or cut pieces of fruit added. It has the acid, it has the sweetener, it has more of the chunkiness of fruit. Conserves are like jams as well, but they tend to have nuts or coconut or chopped dried fruit in them that make them a little bit more chunky, a little bit harder to spread, and they have a little bite to them. Marmalades are made from chopped citrus fruit. I know most of you have heard of orange marmalade. Some people make lemon marmalade, but it also includes some of the sliced and chopped peel of that particular fruit. So each jelly or jam is made with the addition of pectin. When I was a child, we never had pectin. In order to make a jelly or jam, we would take the fruit and mash it, put it in a pretty large sized pot, and add our sweetener to it and cook it for hours. You slow cook it and you stir it frequently, and finally it reduces down and it gels and it becomes a jelly or a jam, depending on if you use juice or if you use fruit pulp. But now jelly making and jam making has been reduced down to a matter of minutes. It doesn't really take that long to do it. Once you've got your fruit mashed or your fruit juiced, you add sweetener and a pectin to that, and you cook it on a rapid boil. And within about 5 minutes, you've got a set product that you can put in your jar and then that you can can. But pectin was first extracted by a French chemist in 1825, and his name was Henry Bréconneau. And I know I'm not pronouncing that correctly, but he's the chemist that discovered pectin and perfected it. It's naturally found in fruits, especially in citrus fruits like the peel of oranges and grapefruits, and in the fiber of apples. It's available in powder or in a liquid, or sometimes you can find it mixed with other gelling agents. It's used to give jellies and jams their thickness, their texture, and their body. Traditionally, jellies and jams were made without pectin. As I said, I know I never had it, and I never really used it until I started canning on a larger scale. One of the pectin products that I've used is called Sure Gel. It contains pectin and fumaric acid. Now, fumaric acid replaces the citric acid in the pectin product, and it aids in the gel set. It decreases the pH when the product that you're using's pH is higher than 4.5. It's sourced from a mushroom called bolete, from lichen, and from Iceland moss. So it is a natural product. It is made out of things from the vegetable kingdom. There's nothing wrong with that product being in the pectin if you buy Sure Gel. It's just if you're not using mushrooms in your diet, you might want to reconsider it and use a different form of pectin, because there is some of that mushroom in the Sure Gel product. Human skin also naturally produces fumaric acid when it is exposed to sunlight. The next pectin we'll discuss is ball real fruit pectin. This has been around for many, many, many years. Now, this pectin they did have when I was younger, but it was long after I had started canning, probably when I was in my early 20s, that I first noticed it and still had not tried it. But it contains calcium ascorbate, which is also called ascorbic acid. Ascorbic acid is the synthetic form of vitamin C. Now, synthetic vitamin C is usually made with genetically modified corn. And so I pretty much stay away from the ball pectin because of the GMO corn product that it is produced from. It also has other artificial chemicals in it. In the winter edition of Wise Traditions, it cites 3 studies which give us reason to kind of question the doses of synthetic vitamin C that we've been normally taking. The first study was from June 15, 2001 issue of Science magazine, and it showed that synthetic vitamin C may contribute to the formation of genotoxins, and genotoxins can lead to cancer. The next pectin is Pectin. It has a pectin and a product called monocalcium phosphate. Monocalcium phosphate is derived from minerals found in nature. It's calcium and from phosphate rocks. Pectin and sugar, the pectin, the sugar, and the calcium come together, and they chemically react and produce the gel that is formed from your jelly products. Strawberry facts. There's many facts about strawberries, and as I was studying and looking into them, I was really interested to find that the Native Americans were eating strawberries way before the Europeans even came to North America. And in ancient Rome, they used the berries to treat everything from depression to fever and sore throats. The average strawberry has 200 seeds on the outside of it, and they're the first fruit that ripens in the spring. In our area of Tennessee, you could begin picking strawberries as early as late May, and they only have a 6-week season, so they're pretty much done by the end of June. According to the United States Food and Drug Administration, Americans eat an average of 3.4 pounds of fresh strawberries per person per year, and 1 acre of land can grow 50,000 pounds of strawberries. I never thought about how many strawberries you can grow on an acre. That's a lot of strawberries. They're grown in every single state in the U.S., but California is the #1 producer of strawberries. They produce 75% of our crops, which is about 1 billion pounds per year. Now, to make strawberry preserves, you don't need 1 billion pounds of strawberries, but we can start with like 2.5 pounds. A cup of pure cane sugar, or what sweetener of choice, especially if you use Pectin, you can use honey, agave nectar, stevia, and there's a couple other products that I don't remember that you can use to sweeten your jams with and still get a good set. So along with your sweetener, you will need a pectin of your choice, and if you use Pectin, you will need to mix the calcium powder that is in that package in order to activate your pectin with your sugar and get a good gel. So then you will also need 6 8-ounce ball canning jars with their lids and their rings. To prepare for making your preserves, what you want to do is wash your jars and your rings and your lids, put your jars in your hot canner, and sterilize them, and then wash and rinse your lids and rings. And as I said, prepare your calcium water in advance. The next step is to, in a separate bowl, mix your sweetener with your pectin powder. And the reason for this is pectin powder tends to clump when it's placed in liquids, especially hot liquids. So if you whisk your pectin powder and your sweetener together and then add them to your heated strawberries, the pectin will evenly disperse in the berries and you won't have that problem with clumping. Then what you want to do now is measure 4 cups of fruit, add 2 teaspoons of calcium water to the fruit, put that on to heat. Once it comes to a rolling boil, you want to pour your sweetener and pectin powder into that and whisk it up very well. Now you're going to wait for it to come to a rolling boil again, and that's a boil that cannot be stirred down. Once it gets to that point, you're going to let that boil for 1 minute, constantly stirring it, and then turn off the heat, because now you're ready to skim any foam that may be on the top and jar your jam. So we've been through the steps of jarring food before, but we're going to quickly walk through jarring your jam. Once you take your hard jars out of the canner, we're going to put your funnel in, ladle in your jam to 1/4 inch headspace. If you're not sure about your 1/4 inch headspace, refer to your Ball Blue Book, which gives precise directions on how to measure headspace. If you don't have a headspace device, the book will also tell you how to eyeball that by looking at the jar. So once you've gotten your jars filled, you want to wipe all of the rims carefully, removing any residue of the jam. You want to set your lid on, fingertip tighten your ring, and put the jars in the canner. The wonderful things about jellies and jams is they're a water bath process because they're a high acid food, and it only takes 10 minutes to process them. So in 10 minutes, you've got hot jam ready to be spread on bread if you want to eat it hot, or you can leave your jars to the side to cool for 12 to 24 hours and then check your seals. If your seals are all good, then you're ready to wash your jars off, put your labels on, and store your jam. If you have jars that did not seal, you have two choices. You can reprocess those jars for 10 minutes after you have taken off the lid and the ring, wipe the rim, and replace them with a new lid and ring. If you don't care to reprocess them, which a lot of times I don't, I just take the jam and put it in the refrigerator, and for that week we have some lovely jam for our toast and pancakes and whatever else we decide to put it on. So that's the quick and dirty on how to make strawberry preserves and a few facts about strawberries. And I hope and pray that you will try this recipe. It's quick, it's easy, it's something you can get your children involved in. How about making a day of it, going out to a strawberry you-pick farm, picking your berries, coming home in the afternoon. It only takes a matter of about an hour to do the whole process, and it's a good way to have family fun. Well, I hope that this has been educational for you, and I hope that you have been inspired to make strawberry preserves. If you have any questions, hit us up in the comments. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Just let us know what we can do to help you preserve food to preserve life.